We've brand new Benidorm here this Thursday at 9. Now though, with the latest headlines and that all-important countdown, it's the ITV News.
Progress as Schumacher has a second operation, but he's not out of danger. His family remain with the former world champion. His agent tells us how the accident happened. And Europe joins the New Year party with celebrations in the UK just minutes away.
This is ITV News with Alistair Stewart.
Good evening. Michael Schumacher's brain injury happened when he skied into one rock, then landed headfirst on another, his manager said today. Doctors say there has been a slight improvement in his condition since they operated on him again overnight. Our Europe correspondent Emma Murphy has been following developments at the hospital in France.
These are the people fighting to keep Michael Schumacher alive. A team of doctors whose work is now being followed around the world. Sombre-faced and sleep-deprived, they seek to minimise the swelling in his brain. A second operation has brought them some success, but not enough to speak of optimism or survival.
With the family's agreement, we went to the operating theatre, and the hematoma was successfully removed, and the CT scan today is better, and the clinical situation is a bit improved compared to yesterday. But at the time it's too premature to make any speculation about his condition.
It's now over 48 hours since Michael Schumacher crashed on the slopes in the Alpine resort of Mirabel, and for the first time the detail of how he suffered such a catastrophic injury has emerged.
It seemed that he had even helped a friend who just had fallen on the piste, so he started to ski again, went into the steep snow, and apparently, this is what we guess, has hit a rocket which he had not seen when he wanted to do a curve. And he was hit by that rocket, and he was kind of catapulted in the air and apparently head down, hitting another rock, which was extreme bad and unfortunate circumstance, and not because of he was speeding.
As the new year approaches, Michael Schumacher's family remain by his bedside. Any hope that the small improvement might have given them has been tempered by the doctor's caution. I spoke to one of those doctors earlier, and he said it would be wrong to say that we're optimistic. We're just slightly less worried than we were yesterday. Emma Murphy, ITV News, Grenoble.
In a few minutes from now, restrictions preventing all Romanians and Bulgarians from coming to work in the UK will be lifted. No one knows how many will take advantage, but there are still empty seats on flights arriving here in the morning, as our political correspondent Romilly Weeks has been finding out.
If an influx of Romanians and Bulgarians are coming here to benefit from work restrictions being lifted, they haven't started arriving yet. At Victoria Coach Station this morning, we found coaches arriving from plenty of European capitals, but not Sofia or Bucharest.
The headline was flights and buses full of Romanians and Bulgarians.
These Romanians studying at Bradford University found reports of a wave of their fellow citizens coming here hard to believe.
I've been asking around, and there's absolutely no one who wants to come to the United Kingdom just for the sake of benefits or just for the sake that the fact that the restrictions are lifted.
Despite newspaper reports claiming flights from both countries were sold out, when we investigated, we found seats available on all three main carriers. The campaign group Migration Watch, though, believes up to 50,000 Bulgarian and Romanian migrants could come every year.
EU workers qualify for exactly the same benefits. As from tomorrow, Romanians and Bulgarians will also qualify. And that means that someone coming here from one of those countries could earn, in take-home pay, 5 times what he earns at home.
The government is bringing in a series of measures from tomorrow to restrict migrants' access to certain benefits. As the clock ticks towards midnight and this politically fraught date finally arrives, they'll be hoping that will be enough to deter supposed benefit tourists, while still welcoming the skilled migrants Britain can't actually do without. Romilly Weeks, ITV News at the Home Office.
MPs are to question the bosses of the UKs Energy Networks over the length of time it took to restore power to homes affected by storms over Christmas. Thousands of families spent days without power. Forecasters predict 2014 will begin with more bad weather, affecting southern England and western Scotland. And the weather has also affected a different kind of forecast, this time on the high street. The department store Debenhams has warned of a fall in profits of more than a quarter after a hoped-for sales surge in the week before Christmas never happened. 2014 is just a few minutes away now, and excitement is rising at the big open-air celebrations in Edinburgh and in London. So, in a moment, we'll head to Edinburgh and our correspondent Damon Green. First, though, Raggy Omar joins us from the very noisy banks of the River Thames. Raggy, a packed River Thames, anticipating a truly spectacular fireworks display.
It is. In just a few minutes, Alistair, and the rain has started coming down, the umbrellas are up, but the music's blaring and spirits are very, very high. There's about 250,000 people here. They'll not only be able to see the fireworks and hear them, they'll be able to taste them. There's going to be confetti flavoured with banana, strawberry clouds and balloons, but just an enormous party atmosphere, ready to see the £2 million of fireworks that's about to go up into what describes itself as the greatest city on earth, not to be outdone by all the other celebrations that have been taking place in Dubai and Sydney and elsewhere. The loudspeakers are on and people are stretched right the way over into central London. About 1 million people in all, and just a few minutes to go.
Raggy, thanks very much indeed. And let's go straight to Edinburgh and Damon Green.
Well,
some celebrations already
may be
away there, Damon.
Away, but very much so. The celebrations are very much underway, and plenty of people out there on Princes Street are long past the point of no return. The celebration started hours ago, just after 8 o'clock at 2014 precisely. The first fireworks went into the air, and since then we've had fireworks at 9 o'clock, at 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock, and we'll be having more fireworks, the big one from the ramparts of Edinburgh Castle, in just a couple of minutes' time. People have been dancing to the music of 5 live sound stages, and one thing you have to realise when you see people bringing in the new year in Edinburgh, it takes an enormous amount of energy, an enormous amount of stamina. This is not just a quick blast of Auld Lang Syne and then send a few text messages to your friends. This is an epic 3-day marathon of Hogmanay celebrations. Many of the people I saw out on the streets this afternoon getting ready for tonight's party were clearly only just recovering from the party they'd had yesterday, and the news for them is when tonight is over, you've got 24 hours more of it tomorrow. Good luck. You're going to need it.
Damon, thank you. Well, just under an hour ago, 2014 began across mainland Europe with big firework displays in Paris and Berlin. The new year has been getting closer to us by the minute, of course. Neil Connery watched the wave of celebration rolling westward from the other side of the world.
In the last hour, Berlin has become one of the latest cities to join in the New Year's Eve party winding its way around the world. More than 1 million people crowded around the Brandenburg Gate to say Auf Wiedersehen to 2013. Auckland was the first major city to ring in the new year as New Zealand celebrated in style.
2, 1.
In Sydney, there was a breathtaking start to the new year. More than 1 million people crammed onto the shores of Sydney Harbour as the city bathed under the glow of a spectacular 11-minute firework display. Australia, as always, determined to show the world how New Year should really be celebrated. In Tokyo, monks rang the bell of time housed at the Buddhist temple to mark 2014's arrival. The ancient traditions greeted by a modern welcome, with everyone determined to get a picture. More than 850,000 revellers in Taipei savoured this spectacle as Taiwan marked the midnight hour. Hong Kong's harbour played host to a mesmerising start to the new year. and the Great Wall of China near Beijing was lit up with lasers, providing the dramatic backdrop for celebrations and thrilling the crowds. Dubai hoped to set a new world record with what was billed as the largest fireworks display ever. More than 450,000 were set off across 400 different locations spanning 59 miles. As 2014 headed towards Europe, revellers in Red Square embraced the start of a new year as Moscow's night sky turned into a sea of colour. Neil Connery, ITV News.
Well, there is less than 1 minute of 2013 left. The chimes of Big Ben will, of course, ring in the new year, and it was 90 years ago tonight that those chimes were broadcast for the first time on radio, an era long before the famous Millennium Wheel sitting there casting its glorious lights across the River Thames. But the River Thames has seen it all so many times and is about to see it and witness it once again. Sydney, Dubai, Paris and Berlin, eat your heart out. That was Edinburgh. This is London live. Right across Britain, the celebrations will no doubt continue into the early hours. So, whether you're raising a glass with family and friends, or whether now is a time for more quiet reflection, from all of us here at ITV News, may we wish you a very happy New Year.
because of its dull and Dunstable. My cheeks are glowing.
7 Seas Pure Cod Liver Oil proudly sponsors the ITV National Weather.
Hello, Happy New Year. Well, it might be a new year, but we are stuck with the same old weather. Overnight, we're going to have a band of rain approaching from the west and southwest. And by breakfast time tomorrow, that's going to be quite heavy and persistent across the southwest of England, Wales, Northern Ireland and also western parts of the borders. And through New Year's Day, this band of rain will spread north and east to all parts, staying quite heavy and persistent, with more showers following in behind later. The winds will also whip up, becoming quite strong, with gusts reaching 50 to 60 miles an hour down across the southwest. So if you are going to be out and about, it's not going to be feeling terribly pleasant. On the face of it though, temperatures aren't too bad for the 1st of January, a high of 10 or 11 in the south, more like 6 to 8 in the north. Have a great new year. Bye-bye for now.
7 Seas Pure Cod Liver Oil proudly sponsors the ITV National Weather.